Hey, Tony Gaskins here. You know, it's one thing that I always say, and that is recognize crazy early. And I didn't want to put that in the title because I didn't want it to get flagged or anything, but recognize crazy early. And I don't say that loosely, but what I mean is there are always signs. There are signs to a person who is irrational. And you'll see those signs early on. So you have to think about this. And as you think about it and you look back on your past relationships and think about if you can remember the first 6 months. In the first 6 months, there were some things that popped up. Sometimes in the first 2 or 3 months, there were some things that popped up like, where are you going? Where were you? I called you, you didn't answer the phone. Why didn't you answer the phone? Oh, I bet you with your ex-boyfriend. I bet you with somebody else, weren't you? What were you doing? Oh, really? So tell me everything you just did over the last 2 hours because I called you and you didn't answer the phone. Oh, you know what? I know a lie when I hear one, and you're lying. Now, mind you, you could be absolutely innocent. You could be absolutely innocent. You literally could have had your phone on do not disturb by accident. Your phone could have died. You could have, it could be anything. But you are hearing this and these allegations, these accusations, you're hearing these accusations and you're like, wow, I didn't do anything. Now, think about this. Sometimes this happens in first 6 months. If not the first 6 months, definitely within the first 9 to 12 months. Sometimes this happens. You walking and you out about, you at the mall and it's you looking around is who are you looking at? Who are you looking at? It looks like you're looking at that dude over there. Or he looks good to you, or he looks good to you. So you get mad at me when you see me looking at a woman, but now you're looking at that dude. And you're like, I did not look at him. I was not even looking at him. I was looking in that store over there. I didn't even see the dude that you're talking about. Who are you even talking about? Yeah, right. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, this so now you play dumb. Now you're gonna play dumb. So you see that. The other signs you may see where you get into a disagreement in the first 6 months and he calls you a B, or she calls you out of your name, or he or she starts screaming and yelling. Start screaming and yelling and you're like, whoa, what are you yelling for? Like what are we even arguing about? Like why are you yelling right now? Like what is the issue? I'm just tired of this. I'm tired of you accusing me. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of going through all of this. What are you talking about? You get me like this. You make me this way. And so you're like, whoa, what is going on? Like, why are you getting so angry and upset over nothing? That is a red flag. So think about this. You see the signs. You see the signs of jealousy, the signs of control, the signs of insecurity, the signs of rage, the signs of abuse. So those are 5 signs that I just mentioned. Let's add another one. Inconsistency. Somebody could type these in the comments as I say them. Inconsistency. So like he or she says, hey, I'm gonna call you when I get off work. Get off work at 5. I'm gonna call you, by 5:30 when I get home or 6 o'clock, and then you don't hear from the person until 8. And then that happens again and again and again. That's inconsistency. That is a red flag. Or something happens and you actually catch the person in a lie. And they're like, oh, after work I just went home and my phone was off the charger all day at work, so it died. So I had to just drive home. And then by the time I got home, I plugged my phone in and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna lay here for like 10 minutes and let my phone charge. The next thing you know, I woke up the next morning. But then you talk to, but then this person doesn't know that your friend saw them at the bar. So let's say something happens to where it could be another scenario. You catch him or her in a lie. That's a red flag. You might not call the person out on it, But that's a red flag. And see, what happens is this is what I want you to understand is that all of these things are shown in the first 12 months. But see, what we don't realize is that is a seed. That's a seed that's being planted. And a lot of times, what we don't understand is that when a seed is planted, that seed sprouts. That seed sprouts and it grows into something that is far greater than the actual seed that was planted. Think about a harvest. Think about a farmer's harvest. He didn't plant full size vegetables. He planted little bitty, or she planted little bitty seeds. So I want you to understand that in life, on this emotional and spiritual and plane, that these seeds planted could be good seeds or bad seeds. So whereas not in the literal sense, because it's not going to be like this big, bad, mean, ugly killer tree that grows from a bad seed that was planted. So not literally speaking, but now figuratively speaking, in the spiritual realm, in our existence as humans, there could be a bad seed of insecurity or jealousy or rage that is planted. And then that sprouts, it grows because your presence is reinforcing it. So your presence and you being there and you dealing with it and you coping it, that's you shining a light of the sun on it and you watering it every day. That's what you're doing. And so what happens is this behavior, this negative toxic energy is being fed, and it's being fed every day. So eventually this person, man or woman, this can go either way, is being fed and being reinforced so it gets bigger. This action, this insecurity in them, this illness, it gets bigger, it gets stronger. And then so what happens is it goes from a small lie to a big lie. And this big lie may pertain to stealing money from your account or cheating on you sexually and lying about it. Or another seed, it may go from just a seed of insecurity to then one day not wanting you to talk to your siblings or your parents and wanting you to be isolated from your good, real friends and your family because of your partner's insecurity. Or it could be the seed of a bad temper or rage. And then one day it turns into you being slapped, you being pushed, you being choked, and then eventually you being beaten, and then eventually you being killed. And so I want you to understand that this is very serious and that the red flags are there. And when you see these red flags, as soon as you see a red flag, you have to multiply that thing by 3. Multiply it by 3. And the reason why I say multiply it by 3 is because with time and with comfort, that thing will get bigger because the person gets more comfortable. So now they start to exhibit that toxic behavior more freely because your presence has reinforced it all these years or all these months. And so when you see it, you have to speak to it and you have to call it out and you have to say, you know what, listen, that's very immature of you and I'm not with the immaturity. I refuse to be with someone who's going to treat me like they are my probation officer. And so if that's your thing, if you are still hurt from your ex, then we are not meant to be. And then when it happens a second time, hey, listen, I know it's been a year since the last time it happened, but I told you, so we need a break. I'm out of here. I cannot deal with this. What? What do you mean? What is going on? What do you mean? But you have to get up, pack your stuff, and leave. Even if you're gone for 2 weeks or a week, 3 days, but you have to send a firm message. And depending on the severity of that offense, you decide if you are coming back or if you're gone for good. Because listen, I was just watching the news the other day, and this woman was going through a divorce with the man. It was a bitter divorce. And the man came back to the house and murdered the woman and all the children. This is happening every day. And the reason why this is happening is because that person didn't just all of a sudden one day become a murderer. There were seeds that were planted and that were watered over the years. And that monster in him was fed. He punched a wall before. He flew off the handle and cursed her out before. I can guarantee it. He pushed her before. They've been into it before. He's shown craziness before. But what happens is we think that, that's just, he's just being a man. Oh, that's just normal. Or it's my fault. I shouldn't have cursed. I shouldn't have did what I did. No. Recognize it early. Recognize it early. Speak to it. Call it out. Give it a firm warning. And understand, listen to me, understand, a human can change. You don't have to tell a human the same thing over and over and over. When you tell someone, don't you ever curse at me again, that's all you need to tell them. The next time they cursed at you, they did it on purpose and deliberately to see what you would do about it, to see if they can call your bluff. And in that moment, you got to show them, I was not bluffing for you. Here is my butt to kiss. I'm out of here. And this is how y'all play too many games. Y'all play too many games. Ask anybody that know me. You come at me wrong, you disrespect me, you cut off. You cut all the way off. I don't know you no more. I'm turning you over to Jesus. I'm turning you over to Jesus. Y'all got to stop playing games. Hey, this is Tony Gaskins. We'll talk soon.